Hi, this is Brad Linder with Liliputing, and this is the Google Pixel 2 and the Google Pixel 2 XL, 5-inch version of the phone, and a version with a 6-inch display and a more dramatically different design, I think, from the original Pixel phones. And these were loaned to me by Google for purposes of review. But the first thing I wanted to do is just sort of talk about what they look like and what the unboxing experience is like. So let's start with the 5-inch phone, which you can see right here on top. It is reminiscent of the first generation model. It's got a 5-inch full HD display, fairly sizable bezels, but front-facing top and bottom or left and right speakers, depending on how you're holding it, I suppose, and feels pretty good in the hand with a mostly sort of glass and metal design. The glass section on the back has been moved up a little bit. The fingerprint sensor is still on the back. We've got a rear camera, single lens camera, and LED flash, front-facing camera, a USB Type-C connector down here on the bottom, and a little microphone, and a SIM card tray, and that's pretty much it in terms of the physical design. There's really not much else to look at. There's no just dedicated headphone jack, so that USB port is what you use for data, charging, and headphones, unless you want to use wireless headphones or use an adapter. Overall, I really like the feel of this phone. It's similar in size to the Nexus 5X, which I've been using for the last year. It's a little bit less wide, but whereas this has got a plastic feel, this has metal, sort of cool to the touch out of the box, and feels really kind of nice without a case on it. Also feels a little bit thinner. Digging a little further into the box here, we've got SIM card ejector tool, getting started guide, an adapter, which you can use to plug into the USB port if you want a full-size USB accessory. Another adapter, this one is for headphones, so if you do have a set of headphones that you wanted to use that use a 3.5 millimeter jack, you can do that. USB Type-C to Type-C charging cable, or data transfer cable, and the charging adapter. Google does recommend that you use the supplied adapter, although you should be able to use third-party ones as well, but this does support fast charging. So that is the 5-inch model. Let's go ahead and put these back in such a way that I don't forget what goes where. Let's take a look at the larger Pixel 2 XL. So you can see that we've got much thinner bezels here at the bottom and at the top of the screen. Without turning the screen on yet, I do have to say it looks a little bit nicer in person than in some of the videos that I'd seen. Fairly sizable bezels around the side and the top, but it is a nice looking phone that definitely feels a little bit bigger. It is wider, it is taller, a little less comfortable to hold in the hand, but if you have larger hands than I do, that might not be a problem. We've got volume and power buttons, which I forgot to mention, that are similarly positioned. And the back actually looks very, very similar on both of the phones, with sort of the small glass section here at the top, the fingerprint sensor near the top, single lens camera. Interestingly, the LED flash is in a slightly different place, but in terms of connections, still just that same USB Type-C connector on the bottom of the device. SIM card tray, and even though these phones were actually manufactured by different companies, they feel actually quite similar. We've got the same sort of metal and glass design, and I guess another difference here is we've got a curved glass edge on this model, so the glass comes around the side a little bit. You can actually sort of feel where it touches the side, though, in a way that's pretty similar. But here the glass isn't curved, it's more flat, and the back of the phone is a little bit curved. So, let's do a couple of more comparisons here. Digging into that box again, I suspect we'll get something very similar. And indeed, we've got basically the same stuff, including USB adapter, charging cable, headphone adapter, and charging adapter. Now, since I'm probably going to test these mostly one at a time, I am inclined to only really use one set of accessories. Since under the hood both phones have basically the same hardware, a lot of the same accessories should work with both phones. So, and software-wise, they should be pretty similar. The main differences are the shape, design, screen size, screen resolution, and a couple of things like that. But in terms of functionality, both phones are pretty much the same. So that is a quick look at the Pixel 2 and Pixel XL. And since I don't have a banana for scale, we'll do the Nexus 5X. This is Brad Linder with Liliputing. Stay tuned for more details on performance, software, other changes from earlier Pixels, and also a look at some other features. For instance, I also have a 2017 edition Daydream View headset, which I plan to test the phones with. So you can find more details at liliputing.com or follow YouTube. Follow Liliputing on YouTube for more details. This is Brad Linder.